Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in this video. My name is Shane Milacambis and I am your teacher for today's video. These are my co-teacher, Miss Andrea Munsad, Miss Marian Ladrica, Miss Jenny Manog, Miss Criselma Bulis, Miss Queenie Montelia, Miss Maan Macas, and Mr. Vincent Mir. This video will be tackling about the whole topic of functional language according to Michael Halliday. Here are the objectives of our topic for today. First, understand Michael Halliday's 7 language functions. Second, establish good communication with the classmates and apply the importance of the lesson to children's language acquisition. But before we proceed to the main topic, let's warm up your minds by doing a fun activity that's connected to our discussions for today. So what is this fun activity? This activity is called Vocabulary Words Search. Now, I want you to find words in the picture that might be related in our topic and take a note of it so that if I call your name, you'll have an answer for it. Feel free to post the video if you want to. Okay, thank you for participating. I think that gives you a snippet idea of what we'll be tackling for today, right? Now without further ado, let's get right into the discussion. Who is Michael Halliday? Michael Halliday was a language theorist who studied child language acquisition. He suggested that communication and language acquisition begins before a child can speak. In Learning How to Me 1975, he suggested that as a child learns its first language, it simultaneously learns about the world around them. Halliday viewed language as a cultural code that teaches us how to be part of society rather than simply a method of communication. Language function generally as a tool of communication. Furthermore, language functions are used also to express the purpose or aim in speaking by adapting the situation and place. It means that language functions are functioned to deliver some meaning to the hearer to understand what the speaker said. Language function as the use to which language is put, the purpose of an utterance rather than the particular grammatical form an utterance takes. People use language in order to fulfill that purpose. Each purpose can be known as a language function. In 1975, Halliday published his 7 functions of language, which describe the way children use language. He refers to these as developmental functions or microfunctions. First is instrumental function. Second is regulatory function. Third is interactional function, personal function, heuristic function, imaginative function, and last but not the least is informative function. And now, let my co-teacher expound the 7 functions in language.
Hello students, I am teacher Andrea, and in this moment, I'll be discussing to you one of Michael Halliday's 7 functions of language. The first function, according to Halliday, is the instrumental function. What is instrumental function of language? Instrumental function of language can be defined as language uses to express what the people needs. To be exact, instrumental function is used to fulfill a need such as to obtain goods and services. For example, I want to buy a car to make it easier for me to do everything. It explains that instrumental functions of language can help us accomplish tasks. It is also used to achieve certain results. It accomplishes something either for the speaker or someone else, and this function helps us understand its purpose. And that's all for Michael Halliday's instrumental function of language. Thank you.
Hello class, I am teacher Marian and I am to discuss to you the second function of language according to Halliday. The regulatory function of language is language used to influence the behavior of others, concerned with persuading, commanding, requesting other people to do things you want. It is just important as in the development of a child or an individual as they are in maintaining proper physiological states. For example, get out, do the dishes. This function does not dwell on the material things or the service rendered, rather, the actor who carries out the issued command.
Thank you, Teacher Marian. Hello, learners. My name is Teacher Genevieve Manog, and in this minute, I will address to you one of Michael Halliday's 7 functions of language, which is interactional language. Let us define what is interactional function. Interactional function is used to build relationship and aims to maintain social relationship. It also eases process of interaction concerned with the phobic dimension of talk. It deals how humans uses language interacting with others socially and emotionally. Example, I like you and I love you are used to express feelings to someone you truly love. Interactional functions are very applicable in real life, since individuals are made to interact with one another, share thoughts, and express feelings or opinions. We are actually doing it every day, or by simply greeting each other, or discussing something with someone. Through this, we are already interacting with the use of language. Interactional function is communicative use of language, where people put their ideas into words and sentences. In that way, others can understand when speaking to one another. Most of us rarely think about how we use our own language for communication purposes or what purpose our language serves as we interact in speech situation. Example, having a conversation with friends or family members, you and me, greeting each other and etc. This language is to establish a social relationship. Interactional function is indeed effective in terms of achieving good communication. But it also has negative side on the other hand, especially when it comes to children. We cannot deny the fact that sometimes children tend to overuse and take out of control with talk, especially when they have some curiosities in mind. But it is also a good thing that a child starts to communicate with others. They will learn something when they ask. That would be all.
Hello class, I am teacher Crisel, and I am here to discuss the next function of language, the personal function of language. Is language used to express the personal preferences, identity, feelings, emotions, personality, opinion, and reaction of the speaker. Sometimes referred to as here I am function, announcing oneself to the world. For example, Toba Lake is a good place to get refreshed.
Thank you, Teacher Magulis. Hello, class. I am your teacher for this minute. My name is Pini Mohajin Mutilia. So the next function of language, we have also the representational functions. So when we say representational functions of language, it's just a used language to explain. For example, I'll tell you, I know. So it's conveying messages to tell about the real world and expressing a proposition. So that's all of my discussions. Any questions and clarifications? Okay, none so far. So I hope you learned something today. So in the next functional approaches will be discussed by Teacher Maka.
Hello class, I am May and Makas, your mentor for this moment, and I will discuss to you the 6th function of language. So this function is called heuristic function. So is anyone here know about this function? Okay, let's see. The word heuristic comes from the word search, which indicates its purpose in our daily lives. So what do you mean about this? If anyone can answer this question? Okay, thank you. Let's see. According to Halliday, this function uses language as a means of exploring, learning, and acquiring knowledge about one's environment, typically through the use of questions. For example, the questions, what happened? What is this all about? what does it mean? And also, the heuristic function could include asking several questions during lecture or adding commentary to a child's behavior, and also testing the knowledge through the use of words, tell me why, or how, or even why, like how it was made. Why is cat sleeping? Another thing is that, do you believe in the saying that if a children is keep on asking or questioning, they are called smart children, right? Do you agree with me? Yes, exactly. It is because the more we ask, the more knowledge we gain. The more we ask, the more ideas we gain or learned, right? And that's why children are keep on asking, because they wanted to know, they wanted to learn, they wanted to grow. Not just the children, but also those active learners. They always keep on asking teachers during the lectures because they wanted to learn, they wanted to explore, they wanted to know or discover more, right? And children are still curious, right? And I believe that curiosity is the fuel for discovery, inquiry, and learning. Therefore, the concept was created for us to understand better how communication works and what role it plays in human experiences.
Good day everyone, my name is Teacher Vincent and I will tackle about imaginative function. So what is imaginative function?
We can define the imaginative function of language as the ability to represent mental images. It is a complex phenomenon as it involves both linguistic and non-linguistic elements. The imaginative function of language is language used to explore the imagination or to create imaginary system or ideas, and also to tell stories, jokes, and telling fairy tales. May also accompany play as children create imaginary worlds or may arise from storytelling. The word imaginative is derived from the imagination, which means the power of forming mental images or concepts that are not actual objects but have an existence only in fancy. This function enables us to create imaginary words that help us understand abstract ideas by giving them concrete forms which we can see, hear, and touch.
Examples are, let's pretend, and I went to my grandma's last night. That's the end of my discussion. Thank you so much for listening.
So this time, we will check if you really understand our discussion today. So let's have a true or false activity. So in this activity, you are going to identify the statement that is true or false. So if the statement is true, you will write T. If the statement is false, you will underline the word that makes it false and then write the appropriate word. Do you understand? Okay, so let's have the first statement. We have Michael Jackson was a language theorist who studied child language acquisition. So, is this true or false? Okay, so let's see. So, this is false because the correct one is Michael Halliday. So let's proceed to the second statement. The regulatory function of language is a language used to influence the behavior of others. So is it true or false? Okay, let's see. So it is true. So let's proceed to the third statement. We have imaginative function of language is a language used to explore imagination or create imaginary system or ideas. It tells stories, jokes, and fairy tales. Is it true or false? Okay, let's see. So, this statement is true. Is it true or false that the personal function of language is a language uses to express what the peoples need? Okay, so let's see. So this statement is false because this statement describes the instrumental function of language. Okay, so that's good. Let's have the last statement. We have the personal function of language is a language used to express personal preferences, identity, emotions, feelings, personality, opinions, and reactions of the speaker. Is it true or false? Okay, let's see. Wow, exactly. It is true. So good job everyone. You really understand or listen to our discussion because you answered the questions. Thank you for your participation. Keep it up everyone.
For your assignment, in a paper, write about your life experiences that is related to one of Michael Halliday's The Function of Language or Functional Approaches. You will share it to the class at the next meeting.
That's the end of our video lecture, and we hope that you've learned something from us today. Thank you so much for listening. God bless. Keep going and fighting.